Hello again from Metro Manila, the Philippines, Southeastern Asia. The race issue is still, unfortunately, quite a contentious one in South Africa, despite the fact that the country has been a multiracial federal presidential / parliamentary republic since 1994. At issue are, for example, the attacks by certain black South Africans on a number of South African farms where thousands of white farmers, their family members, but also a number of their non-white, such as black South African servants, have been wounded and killed. On Friday, October the 16th, 2020, two black South African suspects appeared in a South African court over the murder of a white farmer, which has sparked racial tensions. A barbed wire fence ringed the courthouse in the central town of Senekal, and police and a water cannon were deployed as opposing forces of white farmers and black activists gathered near the site. Around 2,000 supporters of the radical leftist economic freedom fighters gathered for 8 hours under scorching heat for a protest. Crime in this sleepy but rich farming area 300 kilometers south of Johannesburg, which is one of South Africa's three capitals, is centered mainly around stock theft, which is relatively rare. However, on October the 2nd, 2020, the body of 22-year-old farm manager Brendan Horner was found. He had been strangled and tied to a fence at a farm in Paul Hu near Senekal. A silver cross with his name engraved on it has been erected at the spot where the body was discovered. The killing of white farmers is a highly emotive issue in South Africa, and it should be emphasized that a clear or a great majority of white, black, and other South Africans are willing to and do live in peace. There are a growing number of interracial marriages, common law relationships, and dating relationships. And South Africa's schools, colleges, universities, and seminaries are increasingly integrated racially and ethnically. South Africa also has one of the world's highest number of official languages, 11. And at least a few words are uttered in each one of those languages, or in at least several of them in South Africa's current national anthem. Yeah, several of them. Some conservative groups claim that farmers are victims of a genocide. However, we should note the fact that a majority of the Boers or Afrikaners, in other words, the descendants of Dutch immigrants to South Africa, are no longer farmers, and that most white South African farmers do have the resources, economic, financial, and other ones, transportation ones, to, if necessary, leave their farms and move to cities. And indeed, some have already done so. Some also have left South Africa for such Western democracies as Australia. And compared to the Rohingya people's genocide, the slaughter of Christian Sudanese people, and, for example, the killings and tortures of Christians in Eritrea, this is not a genocide, although we can call it a string of homicides, yes. And the government is not doing enough to protect them. Horner's employer, Gilly Sheper, 58, said, in reference to the attention brought to the case, "This young man is paying with his life. He's going to help us solve the crime problem." Sheper has hired private investigators to run a parallel probe into his death because police here are corrupt. The murder's motive has not been established, but a police officer who is investigating the case said the farmer's wallet went missing after the attack. A dozen policemen guarded the courthouse on Friday, dressed in bulletproof jackets and armed with assault rifles. Elsewhere around the court's precincts, police patrolled in cars and from a helicopter. The two suspects, Sekwetja Malamba, 32, and Sekolo Mlatlaletsa, 44, wore gay jerseys as they appeared for their bail hearing. One of them has previously been arrested 16 times and convicted 4 times for stock theft and housebreaking. I don't think that they should get bail because of the seriousness of the offense, investigating police officer Gerhard Peter Maybuch told the court. This incident has also caused unrest in Senegal to such an extent that there were people who tried to remove the suspects from court, said Maybuch. Whites men and farmers stormed the courthouse and torched a police van when the suspects first appeared in court last week. The alleged instigator of last week's court rioting, businessman Henri Pinard, is in custody, facing charges of public violence, attempted murder, and incitement. The suspected killer's bail hearing will continue on October the 20th. Let us pray also for South Africa.